Christelle Angel XO, because she's really inspired me the last couple of weeks. Basically, just saying life is not perfect and you're already your own best version of yourself, you're already your own dream girl, and you need to start showing up like you know that you're already her, because none of us are ever going to be perfect, and we just need to stop waiting until we feel like we are. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. As somebody who struggles with the idea of like perfectionism and tries to hold themselves to a really, really high standard all the time, I can really relate to that. And sometimes you just need to show it the way it fucking is. Like, this room behind me is a mess. There's shit all over the floor. I was supposed to do about 7 different things this morning and I haven't done it. I'm sick this week. I was sick last week. I haven't been to the gym in about 2.5 weeks. And sometimes that's just the way it fucking is. So I thought I would have a bit of a monologue, a bit of a indulgent self chat, where I just talk to you about all the crap that's going on and why I haven't made a proper video in ages. Not that I'm making an excuse, but I'm kind of just saying there are factors there, and people only really show you the highlight reel of their life on social media. I think maybe we should all just start being a little bit like Christelle and being a little bit more real about when we screw up, and that things aren't perfect, and that sometimes, even like she was saying with her groceries that I saw in her reel today about, like, just I ordered it because it was easier and it saved me time. Sometimes we have to take the easier route because life is fucking difficult. So without further ado, I'm literally just going to slap some makeup on my face and talk about whatever comes to my mind, because I think it will be sort of what's the word, soothing for myself. So even if nobody watches this, I just want to say a big thank you to Christelle. I find her videos are a huge, huge pick me up, and she always seems to post a video when I most need to see one. So thank you, Christelle. It's at Christelle Angel with an E on the end, XO, I believe. And her channel is absolutely fucking booming because she's so inspiring and she's such a nice person. And I just think that she's amazing. Thanks, Christelle. I'm just going to shut up now and get out some makeup. There is crap all over my desk. There's still bits I haven't even unpacked from being away like 2 weeks ago. As I said, there were so many things I was meant to do today and I just haven't, because I have this horrible cough cold combination thing. Um, I don't even know if I've done this chat properly. There seems to be no one watching it. Oh, look, one person has joined. Hello. So if you've missed what I was saying, basically, life is not perfect. Sometimes you just need to get on here and film a fucking video. So let's do something about it. I have a student coming in like an hour. So I need to make myself look like I'm not really, really sick. And I'm just going to put on Painterly Paint Pot. Don't worry, I will be keeping my distance from my students so that I don't give them a cold. I actually suspect I got their cold last week, and I still have it now. But hey, hey, germs exist. You can get ill from pretty much anything, touching a door handle, whatever. If you go out in public, you are likely to get, illnesses occasionally. It's just part of life. I have no idea what I'm going to do with my makeup. I just want to make myself look less unwell. So I think that Painterly Paint Pot has done a really good job of like just blanking out um the discoloration on my eyelids. Sometimes I feel like I want to put it over my entire face. I'm going to put a bit on my nose because I've heard it's really good for keeping your foundation on your nose, which is something that I really struggle with. If my foundation's going to wear off anywhere, it'll be my nose. I am a total face toucher, so my makeup often goes off my nose before it'll wear off anywhere else. So again, I'm going to put a bit of that paint pot around my nose as well, and it's kind of in place of a primer because primers just don't really seem to work for me. What I do believe in, however, is setting spray. So this is the Milk Hydro Grip setting spray. I'm kind of unsure how I feel about this product yet. You have to hold it quite far back from your face when you spritz it, because it's very wet. Like, a lot comes out when you spritz it. It's a fine mist, but your face is going to be drenched if you have it too close. By the way, this is perfume on my neck. It's not actually setting spray. Right, so I'm going to give that a minute to sort of sink in and hydrate my face. I did put on my Drunk Elephant moisturizer as well, the one that I got in a recent advent calendar. And I think I'm going to start with my eyes first because I've already prepped them, but I'm just going to do like literally the most basic thing ever. I'm going to take, actually even simpler than a palette, I am going to take the Bobbi Brown Shadow Stick in the shade Taupe here, and I'm going to just literally line all on my eyes, all over my eyelids, all around my eyes. Um, and I'm going to go for the sort of heroin chic look because that's the easiest thing to do when you're already sick, isn't it? Let's look like I meant to look bad and it's sort of stylishly done. So all over my eyes here, and all over my other eye. I always bring it out a little bit further um, than my actual eye shape because I have quite small eyes and I want to make them look bigger. Yeah, so things that I have been dealing with recently, let's just fucking lay it out on the table. I did apply to the NHS to have some therapy because basically, as I said earlier, I do struggle with perfectionism and I have a lot of ingrained thought patterns since I was a child. And they did an assessment. It was about an hour on the phone a couple of weeks ago. It was pretty intense, to be honest. And it was upsetting. I've had a few things going on in my life. Nothing, disastrous, but just things that kind of have brought a few bits to a head. And basically, after analyzing what I'd said on the call, they have recommended that I go for high intensity CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, I didn't know there was different levels of intensity. I've never done CBT before. I know a few people that have done it and that have found it helpful. So I'm hoping that it will be helpful for me as well. Because it's through the NHS, I'm obviously very grateful to, qualify for that and everything. We're very lucky here in the UK that we do have free healthcare. I know some people complain about the standard of it, but it is free, okay? So, because it's through the NHS, it's going to take quite a while, possibly, before I actually see someone. But even the fact that I know I'm on the waiting list has made me feel better. I'm just going to add a bit more to this eye, because for some reason it doesn't look as dark. It could just be in the camera as well, to be fair, but we'll add a bit more anyway. So I'm really grateful to just be on the list. And I feel like a sense of relief, even just knowing that eventually I will get to see someone. Even just talking on the phone was a huge relief to speak to someone, almost someone kind of anonymous, the lady that did my assessment, about some of the shit that I've been feeling. And, some of it was very recent, some of it was going back to childhood, and just being able to tell someone how I really feel without feeling guilty or like I'm being self-indulgent, because sometimes you just need to fucking talk about shit. And again, I'm very blessed in many ways, but there's still things that I need to do to improve my own mental health. And then hopefully I'll be back making proper videos instead of just doing a random live, which I feel is kind of unfair to my subscribers. And I'm so lucky I have so many people that support me on here, even on my little nano channel, as I would call it. I'm not even a micro influencer. It's like a nano channel. And I get such lovely comments, and I know that people like ask for me to film things and then I don't do it and I feel even worse, and it's like this big cycle. But hopefully getting my shit together, doing some CBT, etc., will be good for me. Another thing I've been really struggling with, this is really personal, but some of my hair has been falling out. Now, everyone has said to me that they haven't noticed. Maybe they're just being really kind. I don't know. But that's part of the reason I dyed my hair darker, is because I thought maybe the highlights and the bleach, even though it was being done by a professional, was causing damage to my quite brittle, dry hair anyway. Now, my hairdresser is fantastic. And I don't really think that anything she was doing was damaging my hair, but any color is going to damage your hair, particularly if there's bleach involved. So I've lost a lot of hair in the last, I would say, 6 to 9 months. Now, part of it may be because I've been in quite a big calorie deficit for about a year. I've lost 2.5 stone, and I've done that very slowly over kind of a sort of 9-ish month period. So I've taken gaps here and there. That's why it doesn't add up to exactly a year. And I do feel like possibly my hair wasn't getting the nutrients that it needed while I was dieting. And although I've lost the weight and I feel really positive about that, it's taken a toll on my hair. Now, thankfully, my hair is curly, so I don't think it's as obvious that I'm, thinner in places. Like, but look, you can see, like, there's not a lot of hair there. Like, do you see what I'm saying? And like, look, even here. Like, this is so embarrassing to show, but I just want to be real about it. Like, because it's happening to other people too. It won't just be me that's experiencing something like this. So I think it's a result of quite a big calorie deficit and also periods of stress that have happened. I had a really, really stressful time around Easter in this year. I don't really want to go into why. And that issue is still ongoing, but I think that time was the height of it. And it's really, really taken an effect on my hair. I don't know if anyone out there can like relate, but it's so stressful losing hair. Like my hair grows extremely slowly anyway. I have fine hair. And then for some of it, well, quite a lot of it to be falling out. Like I'm too embarrassed to have a ponytail anymore because there's nothing there. Like there's no hair in the ponytail. It's really, really embarrassing. And I'm glad that I'm just coming out and saying it because it's been upsetting me for a long time. And I'm sure there's probably other people out there that have experienced similar times in their lives. I'm hoping it's nothing more serious than the calorie deficit and the stress. And I do have little baby hairs like coming in right at the top. So I hope that's a good sign that, maybe it will grow back. All I can do is really hope. I would appreciate any tips. I've already had a full panel, a blood panel done with testing all my thyroid, my hormones, everything, and everything came back normal. So maybe this is something that will just pass and it will grow back, but it's probably going to take a really long fucking time. And between now and then, I just have to deal with having very, very little hair. And again, it's disguised by the curliness, but like you should see it when it's wet. Like you can see my scalp. It's just horrible. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I really wouldn't. So that's been something that's been on my mind, and I'm glad now that I've just got it off my chest. I really am. Okay, so those are the two like biggest things going on. Relating to like the CBT stuff, I just need to get over this idea of being perfect or that I need to be a particular size, like with the weight loss, or I have to always look perfect, or my house has to be perfect, or because like who the fuck is measuring me? Only myself. Like it's me just judging myself all the time really harshly, and I don't know why. I think I just have this ingrained idea that I am fundamentally not good enough unless I am perfect in every single way. And I don't even know anyone that's perfect in every way. So, why am I holding myself up to this standard? It's like a fear that people will somehow reject me or not like me if I am not perfect. Can anybody relate to that? I feel like I've said so much already, and like maybe people are like afraid to comment. I don't know. But like, if anyone can relate to this, please tell me because we live in this world of constant comparison. And, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not thin enough. I don't work hard enough. My house isn't perfect. Like, why do I feel this way? Like, why do I feel this way? I know it's not logical, and I know nobody is judging me as harshly as I'm judging myself. So why am I like this? Like, why am I like this? Even right down to the tiniest things, like, I need to have a perfect diet, and my wardrobe should be organized at all times, and I need to plan outfits and look really impressive at work, and like, I know none of that shit is true, but like, why do I still feel compelled? It's really, really frustrating. And sometimes I wake up like, and it's not early, and I've slept in a little bit, and I don't know why, but I feel like I've already ruined the day because I didn't get up early enough. Does anyone else feel like that? Maybe it's because some of this 5 a.m. trend shit, get up early and make the most of the day. And, there's definitely an element of truth to that. Like, if you get up early, you do make more of the day, but it doesn't mean you're a failure because you don't get up early every single day. Because you're not. Like, you're not. You can still have a good day and a productive day, even if you don't get up early. And I've tried to like forgive myself for resting when I actually need to rest. Like, my throat's still really sore. I don't know if you can hear that I'm very blocked up. And I knew I would be working later on this afternoon. So I tried to forgive myself for resting today and not getting any productive productive stuff done. I had a phone call with my sister. I felt like that was productive. I think we both needed to have like a good like chat, and we both felt really good afterwards, and we enjoyed the chat. But part of my brain is like, well, that wasn't very productive. Why weren't you doing something to do with work? Why weren't you improving your skills? Why didn't you go and exercise? When I know really I didn't exercise because I don't feel well enough to do so, like fucking mentally or physically. So I'm trying to be more forgiving of myself. Sometimes I just, don't do the most productive thing, and maybe that's just living my life a little bit. Sometimes I think maybe I should have one perfect week and see how I feel after it. Was that really living my life? Do I feel better after it? It's just crazy. I'm actually sort of exhausted now, even just from ranting like this. If you're still here, I appreciate you. Um, yeah, it's just all been really, really mad. I feel like all of this has just been building up for such a long time, and I don't know if it's just me that feels like this. And I just felt like I needed to get on here and let off some steam. I wanted to do so the other day, and somebody rang me, so I couldn't. Not that I didn't enjoy their conversation, obviously, but sometimes you've just got to get shit out, and you need to just talk about how you feel. And this is a nice way to do it because I'm literally just talking to myself. And sometimes you understand how you feel better just for saying it out loud. Like, I know some people journal. I've also had other people tell me that journaling makes them feel worse and they feel better when they just speak. Um, so maybe a little bit of both can be helpful. I think journaling is helpful, but then I feel really stupid if I read back what I've said and it makes me feel like I'm really self-centered. And journaling is not self-centered. It's having 5 or 10 minutes just to write down how you feel. But I cringe when I read back what I've said. Again, I have this instinct that like I should just be able to cope with everything no matter what, and I should just be strong all the time. Does anyone else ever feel like that? Like they don't allow themselves to have any moments of weakness, like, because we have to put our best face forward at all times. Is anyone else like that, or is it just me? I feel like no one's going to comment anything because I'm just on this big rant. Like. But I appreciate anyone that's watching and listening to me. It means a lot that people do watch my videos, even if, it gets one view. Like, that's someone that took time out of their day to watch what I was doing, even if they didn't watch it all. Right, I feel like foundation might help me put myself back together as a human being. I'm still trying to use this up. This is the Maybelline Luminous and Smooth in the shade 095. I'm just going to use one pump. I feel like sometimes I've been overdoing it with foundation, and then that can lead to creasing in my smile lines. I am going to spritz my brush. This is just an old Sigma flat top kabuki with the milk setting spray, and then just tap that and push it into the skin. This is a really lovely foundation. I would definitely repurchase it, but I have millions of other ones to use up. As you saw if you watched my declutter video, I have a ton of foundations and I only have one face. I don't even wear foundation every single day. I would always wear things like mascara and like eyebrow products, but everything else is kind of secondary and depending on how I feel on the day. But the weird thing is makeup is so therapeutic. And again, this is why rather than doing all the other things I needed to do, I decided to just talk to the camera and apply makeup because it genuinely relaxes me. It always has. And I think that's why I got so into makeup, apart from low self-esteem as a teenager, and wanting to change what I looked like. I got so into it because it's just me time and you feel better. It's creative. It's an outlet for you. And I also I fell in love with the community as well. I started watching makeup YouTube videos when I was about 17. So I discovered Pixie Woo, so like Sam Chapman when she just started the channel on her own. Oh, Julie G713, there was Fafanet, there was Petrolude, there was X Sparkage, like all those really, really, really old creators really inspired me and I learned so much from them. I'm going to use the Hourglass concealer under my eyes. Why do I always call this Hourglass? It's the House Labs concealer. I seem to just get them mixed up all the time. So I'm going to use that under my eyes. So yeah, I was watching YouTube videos long before it became mainstream. God, listen to me. I was here before it was cool. But genuinely, it took me so long to start a channel, and I started a channel in 2011. And I didn't keep up with it, which is such a shame because can you imagine if I'd actually been consistent, where potentially that could have led to, because the market is so saturated now, it's really hard to get people to watch your videos. People also expect like really, really like polished content, like extremely high quality. And like, I get why that is, because if you're putting yourself out here, you know, if you're um putting yourself out there, you should put your best foot forward. But like, I'm not looking to do this as a job or anything. This is kind of just a creative outlet for me. But equally, when there are, you know, very high quality content creators that are doing this professionally, like, why would you choose to watch someone like me over them? You know, like, I get that. Especially as everyone has very limited free time now, especially to do something as, you know, frivolous as watching YouTube videos about makeup online. When you have so much choice, why would you go for someone who is producing lower quality content that is not as polished and doesn't have sponsorships and amazing editing and, you know, all of that stuff, and someone who always has all the new releases? I mean, I talk about makeup from like 10 years ago, yeah, easily, if not more. So like, why would you choose to be watching my videos over someone really popular? Also, I don't even think my videos show up in searches because like they're just so low on the list of priorities for the algorithm. Like, so the fact that anybody watches my videos, I'm so, so grateful. I have no idea where the brush I'm looking for is. Let's use an alternative. Oh wait, no, there it is, there it is. This is the Real Techniques medium shadow brush. I don't even know if they still make this. Again, this set is probably older than some of the people watching this video. Absolute best brush for concealer or setting your under eyes. I'm just using the Catrice under eye brightening powder. Again, you just have to be careful how much of this you put on, because it can tint under my eyes a little bit pink. You can see it a tiny bit, but I don't really mind that. Because I am so, so fair. Shade reference wise, I would be a MAC NW5. I'm literally the lightest shade that they make. If anybody has a similar skin tone to me, you can understand. I'm going to put some Glossier Boy Brow through my brows. This is actually the grey one, but it works really well. And I've already used the Glossier Cool Blonde pencil, so that's why they're already a little bit defined. I've started to see a few gaps in my eyebrows, but I also don't know if I'm just being paranoid. If you were here earlier, I was talking about my hair loss that I've experienced predominantly probably through calorie deficit and stress. And I'm scared that it will continue, but I really fucking hope it doesn't. So yeah, if in doubt, we'll just slap a bit of Glossier Boy Brow in there. I've always had very thin eyebrows, so I probably am just being paranoid. So that's the grey one, and as you can see, it doesn't really look grey on my eyebrows, and my hair is currently dyed like a darker brown. This is probably 1 to 2 shades darker than my natural colour. I am just gonna grow out all the dye eventually, to try and improve my own hair health. I did a coat of the Rodeo mascara, but I think that one's, to be honest, ready to be binned. So I'm going to put some Benefit Fan Fest on as well, just to give myself some more volume. Again, this is like the most basic look ever, but I literally just wanted to make myself look alive. Weirdly, even though it's not summertime, I've been starting to wear bronzer. I don't know if it's like the influence of the kind of autumnal tones, like the warm kind of bronzy orange looks that everyone's going for with bronzers and stuff. Hello, Elena Dix. Hi, how are you doing? So I'm just fluffing up my eyelashes there with a bit of Benefit Fan Fest, and I'm going to put the e.l.f. lash extender on my lower lashes. I'm going to lift the mirror up so I can see a bit better what I'm doing. I do actually wear glasses. I don't think most people on here know that. But yeah, I do wear glasses. So sometimes, especially as my eyesight is, you know, deteriorating a little bit as I get older, I do have to get the mirror quite close to me. But I just feel like lower lash mascara makes the biggest difference, especially if you have small eyes like me. So the shape of my eyes are a little bit more rounded, so I think kind of that doll eye mascara look is what kind of suits me. I have no idea what to put on my lips yet, but they're feeling quite dry, so I'm just gonna wipe off any potential foundation. Yeah, I think there was a bit on there. And I'm gonna put one of these NARS lip balms, tinted lip balms on. Just to give myself a bit of hydration. And as we were talking about bronzer, my favorite ones to use are the MAC Studio Fix powders. There's something incredible about MAC face powders. I've said this before and I'll say it again. But I was more talking about these top shades when I was talking about them. So literally all I'm doing is I'm mixing, what are they called? Taupe, Sculpt and Bone Beige all together. As you can see, I've not really discriminated here. I've just mixed them all together on a big fluffy Real Techniques brush. And I just find it's a really simple way to enhance my face shape, but I'm only using a very small amount. So MAC face powders have this sort of smoothing effect that I've never got from any other face powders. I also feel like I can use these bronzers and it doesn't make me look orange, unlike the Hourglass ones. And it's weird because everyone's so obsessed with Hourglass, like particularly since the holiday launch came out, like it's everywhere, it's in everybody's videos, and like cool, if they work for you, great. But the tones don't work for me, they never have. Even the blushes, I'm not a huge fan. Like, so that's why I never buy the new palettes. I don't mind getting like a blush or something in an advent calendar, and I will use it sometimes for travel or whatever. But to me, nothing compares to MAC face powders. Whether it's like their press powders, again for like coverage, I'm talking about MAC Studio Fix. Haven't tried the new reformulation. Let me know if you have. Um, but yeah, there's something really healthy now about how my skin looks with that on, and I don't get that from other ones. They just make me look more orange. So I'm really pleased with that. I feel like it's pale girl bronzer. So I'll take a little bit down my neck as well and along the collarbones, now that I actually have collarbones again because I've lost so much weight. Well, not so much, but you know, weight, you can actually see a difference. If you look back when I started my channel in January, like my face is a lot fuller than it is now. So since I started, yeah, I've lost 2 stone and 6 pounds, which is about, I think, 15, 16 kilograms, something like that. So it took a long time, but it was definitely worth doing. And it was just plain old calorie deficit. There was nothing fancy. I didn't do keto. I didn't do anything like that. It was fucking awful at times. It was so boring. Like I felt like it really ate into my social life. But it has been worth doing. So for blush, I'm gonna try and use this new Westman Atelier one. I did use this in a Get Ready With Me already, but I don't think I've touched it since. And seeing as this bronzer is quite warm toned, I think a little bit of pink might work well. So I'm just dotting that on. I don't know what to blend this in with. I think I used this brush last time and it worked okay. This is the setting brush from Real Techniques. Again, a really old brush, but they really do last if you look after them. Oh, that's quite nice actually. It goes well with the bronzer. And then on this side, it does blend out quite well without really disturbing the product underneath, especially considering that I've put on a powder and now I'm putting a cream product over the top. It has emphasized my sunspot a little bit, but you know, what doesn't? Yeah, I think that's actually quite nice. It's a little bit stronger on this side. I don't know why. But then I don't always feel like the camera reflects what's really going on. So that looks quite good. The temptation to carve out my brows is quite strong, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to leave them and keep it like that. I'm going to do some more setting spray, but I'm going to switch it up this time. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. This one is quite wet as well. but also quite a nice feeling. It feels very similar to the Milk one, to be honest. I don't think you need both, and I haven't noticed a difference in how they wear. So I probably should go fairly soon. I'm just thinking about what else I need to do. I need to get this foundation off my nose ring because I always watch my videos afterwards and I'm like, oh my God, how did I not realize there was so much product on there? Not as bad as usual today. I'm kind of liking the natural lip look, but I do have some things in my top drawer that I said I would wear because it's, you know, autumnal season. So let me see what I've got in here that I haven't used too recently. To be fair, the NARS product was one of them. I don't know. Oh, Pillow Talk Fair. I think that sounds like an excellent thing to wear right now. And I will maybe put a little bit of the corresponding lip liner with it. So I think my most successful video ever is a review of this product. And the weird thing is, like, it really didn't get much attention when I released it. And then it's still like the video that has the most views now, and it continues to have the most views like pretty much every single week. So I don't know, is it because I've specifically reviewed a product for fair skin, or is it just everyone wanted to know about this product? I have no idea. Oh, hang on. I feel like I've wiped a bit of foundation off there. Where is my foundation brush? That looks better. Okay. I actually do feel better after what I spoke about for the first sort of 15 minutes. Even though it was a bit emotionally draining, it's nice to just get something out. So thank you if you're still here. I know quite a lot of people watch my videos like after they're live because I do kind of film in the middle of the day. So that's just the Pillow Talk Fair lip liner on its own. It is a nice shade. I wouldn't say it's life-changing or anything. I actually much prefer MAC Stone, but I think it does work really beautifully with the corresponding lipstick, which I'm about to apply now. I do have a full size. I'm just still trying to use up the mini. So that's it there. I feel like I might have applied a little bit too much, so I think I'm just going to blot slightly. So I'm just taking like a cotton round and blotting off any excess. And then it's not the most hydrating lipstick, so I am going to put like a gloss or something over it. I've been really enjoying, although I fucking hate the packaging, this lifter gloss from L'Oreal. So like clearly you get very little product in this, but this packaging is huge, okay? And it's fucking heavy as well. So sometimes I'm like, oh, what's making my bag really heavy? It's this fucking lip gloss, okay? But I do really like the product. It's in the shade Ice and it pretty much goes with everything and it's not sticky. Have I missed makeup under inside my nose? No, I just need to blow my nose because I have a fucking cold. Great. Sexy. I'm so glad you saw up my nose there. Lovely. At least you know I'm fucking keeping it real like I was talking about at the beginning. So I think I'm pretty much done here. I will obviously go and blow my nose. Thank you so much if you watched part or all of this video, especially Jesus if you've put up with me for that long. And please do like, comment and subscribe. Even if this is long after I filmed the video, I will get back to you. It's been really nice to just get on here and vent. So thank you for listening to me if you've made it this far. YouTube is such a nice community on here and I'm very lucky with the kind of people that follow me and that engage with my videos. It's pretty much always been positive. And you know, I will try and get back to filming more sort of professional, slightly scripted, planned videos, not scripted, you know, word for word, but kind of proper videos soon. There just seems to be a lot of shit going on right now. Nothing, you know, terrible, but everything just seems to be getting in the fucking way. And I'm not going to the gym regularly, etc. I'm not hitting other goals that I'm trying to achieve. So it's not just YouTube I'm neglecting. Shit's just going on. And I'm trying to get into a more positive mindset and be kinder to myself. And, you know, if you're trying to do something similar too, then we can be buddies and we can talk about it, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, how do I kill this thing? Bye.